Happy Friday, third grade. We have made it to the end of the week. Okay, so today you guys are going to be solving your problem, or your problems from yesterday. So yesterday you found the hidden question, and then today you guys are going to be solving them. And then you're going to be checking your work, okay? So let me go ahead and get started on my problem, okay? So Mr. Keith works 5 days a week and 4 hours on each of those days. How many hours would Mr. Keith work in 3 weeks? Okay, so that was my question. Here you can see I have my first strip diagram because this is the first step, and I identified the hidden question, and my hidden question was how many hours does he work in 1 week? So in order to find out the total number of hours for all 3 weeks, I had to know how many hours would have been in just 1 week, because the number of hours in the first week would be the same in the second week and in the third week, okay? So that was step number 1. Then once I found out that, I made my second strip diagram, and you can find the number of hours he worked in all 3 weeks, okay? Then I created my multiplication sentences. It just happened to both be multiplication. 5 days times 4 hours equals a certain number of hours. And I did not put a question mark because this does not answer my question, all right? Then my next step was 3 weeks times a certain number of hours. And that certain number of hours is going to be the same as the number of hours that we found in the first step. It's going to equal a number of hours in the 3 weeks. And this would be answering my question, which is why I have a question mark, okay? So I'm going to do an estimate for this problem. And remember, on Wednesday, I talked about when you estimate your problem, if you estimate lower, your estimate is going to be lower than the answer of your problem. And if you estimate higher, your estimate is going to be higher than what your actual answer is going to be. So for this one, I'm going to do 5 days times 5 hours because I know what 5 times 5 is. That's just a fact that comes easy to me, and maybe you know what 5 times 5 is also, and so that is something that just comes easily to you. You want this to be simple, okay? You don't want to make this complicated. You want these to be numbers of multiplication facts that you know, or something like the other day when I was doing it on Wednesday, we're multiplying by 2, and I could just quickly add those 2 numbers in my head together, or I just added that number 2 times in my head, okay? I know that 5 times 5 is 25, okay? But I rounded up with my 4 hours, so because I rounded up, my estimate is going to be higher than what my actual answer is when I multiply 5 times 4, okay? And then 3 weeks times, this would be 25, if that was what I was estimating. And so I'm going to do 3 weeks times 20 hours, because in my head, I know that if I have 20 3 times, I'm going to have 60 hours, okay? Again, so here I rounded down. This number I rounded down. This one I rounded up. So this answer is going to be higher than my actual answer. This one is going to be lower than what would be my actual answer, okay? So now let's solve them. 5 times 4 equals something, okay? 5 days times 4 hours equals a certain number of hours, all right? And for 5 times 4, I'm going to do an array, all right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. When you're making your array, it is really, really important that we try to keep everything lined up, okay? So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I have 5 groups and 4 in each group, or 5 rows and 4 in each row. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so there's my array. Now, I'm going to give you an example of what an array doesn't look like just so we can refresh doing arrays, okay? I do not want to see this with your array. One, it's not what an array is, because an array is a pictorial model with rows and columns, okay? And it doesn't always have to be circles or dots. Sometimes it is stars or triangles or whatever it may be, okay? It doesn't always have to be circles and dots. But I don't want to see an array like this. Okay, that's not an array. One, I do not have all of them lined up evenly and together, okay? So this is not an example of an array. Another one really quickly is sometimes we see this. Okay, that also is not an array. These are not in line. Yes, this is in line. Maybe this is, but it starts to get off right here, okay? And it starts to get off right there. Again, that is not an example of an array. So if you make an array, you need to remember to keep them lined up nice and neat, okay? Okay, so gonna go back to my array, all right? Then you just count. If you wanted to, I know that this is 5, 5, 5, 5. So I'm gonna count 5, 10, 15, 20. If you wanted to, you could have counted each one individually. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Okay, so in the first week, he worked 20 hours. Okay? And 20 hours. So that means over here, 20 hours, 20 hours, and 20 hours. Right here it goes 20 hours. Well, I estimated 20 hours. That's what I estimated because I rounded down. Okay? But we still need to solve this problem, okay? And so I'm going to do partial products again, okay? So I'm going to do 3 times 20. Well, I do 3 times 20, which is your 2 tens plus 3 times 0, because I don't have any, in my ones place I have a 0. There is no value, or your value is 0, okay? 3 times 20, and I know is 60. 3 times 0, a number times 0, if you're going to take 3 and put it into 0 groups, how many are in each group? There's nothing. There's no groups. You can't take, if you have 0, okay, and you put it into 3 groups, how many are in each group? Nothing. You put 0 into 3 groups, you put nothing into each group. 3 times 0 is 0. A number times 0 is always 0. Okay, and that is 60. So this problem was 3 times 20 equals 3 weeks times 20 hours equals 20 hours. So he would work, oh, sorry, not 20. Miss Garza made a mistake. That's 60. Okay? He would work, oh gosh, this is 20. That's 20. This is 60. Okay, so he works 60 hours in 3 weeks. Now I need to check, okay? So it's really important that we check. And I am going to do, so for my first one, I did an array. For this one, I'm going to do equal groups. So I'm going to do 5 groups. Okay, and I put 4 in each group. Remember, last week we did 5 groups, or we did groups, and at the bottom of every group, when you're done counting, you are going to write the number that you're on. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and you pick up 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. 20 checks and checks. Okay, the next one was 3 times 20. Well, I'm going to add 20. I'm going to do repeated addition. So here I did partial products, 20, 20. I don't have any in my ones place. I have 0 plus 0 plus 0. This would be 20 plus 20 plus 20. 2 tens plus 2 tens plus 2 tens, which is 2, 4, 6. That is 6 tens. That is 60. And that matches what we got there, okay? So I did my understand, I did my plan, I did my solve, and I did my check, and I identified my hidden question, which allowed me to finish solving the rest of my problem, okay? So you guys are going to go solve and check your 2 word problems for the day. And remember, when you're done, you're going to tell me your answers. There's going to be a box for you to tell me your answer. And just like on Wednesday, you guys are going to upload a picture of this, okay? So I want you to upload a picture of your whole thing. So I know yesterday you uploaded a picture of just these 2 steps and the others were blank. Today you're going to upload a picture of the whole thing so I can see all your steps together, okay? On Monday, we're just going to be reviewing for our assessment, okay? Tuesday, you're going to be taking your assessment. And then Wednesday, we will be going over our assessment and there will be, an opportunity for corrections if you guys need it. Now, it is really, really important that you guys take your assessment on Tuesday, because on Tuesday, as you turn in your assessments, I'm going to be able to go in there and enter in your grades, okay? So then you can see what grades you made for the corrections that you guys are going to make on Wednesday of next week, okay? I'm not going to tell you which problems you got wrong, and it is going to be an expectation that next week, I will remind you of all of this again, but that next week you do corrections on every single question. It's not going to hurt you to just keep practicing word problems, okay? Word problems are a big part of 3rd grade, and if we can get multiplication and division word problems down, addition and subtraction problems will be easier, and then when we combine all 4 operations together, it will be a lot easier, okay? So, just a reminder, you're going to upload a picture of your completed UPS check, and you're going to make sure you've included your hidden question. And then if you guys have any questions, you need to remember to hop on office hours and ask Miss Mays if Miss Mays is your math teacher, or myself if you guys need any help, okay? I will talk to you guys later. I hope you guys have a great weekend, and we will see you on Monday.